Hey guys, I'm here today to talk about all of my winter reads. That's right. I'm too lazy to do month by month. Today I'll be discussing my reads from December through February, because this is officially the end of winter, and maybe actually like the end of November. But first is the Cinder, the Lunar Chronicles. Starting with Cinder. So if you didn't know, the Lunar Chronicles is a science fiction retelling of fairy tales, starting with Cinder, Cinderella, Scarlet, Red Riding Hood, Cress, Rapunzel, and Winter, Snow White. And there's 4 books, and they each kind of tell their own story, but tying in with all the others, so it is a series, and characters from the first, second, and third book show up in all the other ones as well. And then we also have Ferris, which is the novella detailing the backstory of our favorite villain. And by favorite, I mean I would push her off a cliff first. And then we have Stars Above, which is a bind-up novella collection of all the stuff from before all of this. So overall, I really enjoyed the series. The series it started off a little rocky. Cinder was good, but it was a little rocky at times. And then Scarlet, it was good, but I was still holding out hope. And then Cress came in and just blew me away. It was fantastic. And then Winter was amazing. Winter was a great finale. It was, she took it from, like 350 pages, 450 pages, 550 pages to 800 pages for the ballpark finale. Fantastic. And then Ferris, the prequel novella, was great as well. Read this one between Cress and Winter, and Lavanna. If you read them, you know how I feel about Lavanna. And then, just when we thought everything was over, Marissa Meyer released Stars Above, which is a collection of stories from when our main characters were children. Other stories, also a retelling of The Little Mermaid, which was fantastic, and then an epilogue to the entire series, which wrapped up everything perfectly in a nice little bow, but like not cheesy, but kind of cheesy, but in a good way. So this series overall was bloody fantastic. It was so good, and I would take the trip again. The characters were to die for. They felt so real, and I want to be their best friends, and for some of them, lovers, because they were just so good. But yeah, so overall, the entire series, definitely worth the read, 5 stars. And my next read to kick off the new year was the sci-fi epic Dune. Now, this book was so good. It was so detailed and rich, and it dove right into the politics and just savagery of this science fiction world. It's science fiction, but tenuously. It's almost like science fiction to a point where it becomes post-apocalyptic science fiction, and then almost high fantasy at times, but it's a classic, amazing. I would definitely recommend everybody to go read it. And also, I bought an original copy of this book because I'm so in love with it, because, you can't have enough books, right? And so while I love Dune, there were just like maybe a few things that I didn't like, or maybe because it was just, it was written 50 years ago, so some things felt a little slow to me at times, but overall it was a great book, definitely worth the read, and maybe a reread, and 4 stars, fantastic. And next is one of my friend's favorite books, and one of my least favorite books I've ever read. Ever. And that book is Colleen Hoover's Slammed. This book was everything I hate about romances. It was insta-love. There was tension for the sake of tension and plot. The writing style was so juvenile. Like, honestly, the stuff I wrote in middle school was probably more sophisticated than this. Sorry, Colleen. And the characters, Lakin, she was so whiny and just she just annoyed me the whole time, which is not something you want your main character to do. And then the love interest, Will, he was so good that it was like creepy because he was too good. And then there was creepiness for other reasons too, which I'm not gonna get into here, but let's just say 2 stars, maybe, on a good day. I started to enjoy it near the end, but I'm not sure if that's because like I actually started enjoying it, or I was just so used to how bad it was that I just kind of accepted it. But yeah, so like 1.5, like 1.5 stars, maybe. I don't know. I don't like you, Slammed. This next book was stellar, fantastic. If you haven't read it, go read it. 6 of Crows. So many feelings. I mean, look how gorgeous this cover is, and black pages, like my soul. So good. So 6 of Crows is a spin-off of the Grisha trilogy, which I haven't read. Just putting that out there. I went into 6 of Crows without knowing nothing about the world, and you really didn't need to read the Grisha trilogy beforehand. I completely understood this book, and it was so good. I just can't gush enough about it. The characters were amazing. Kaz, Inej, Matthew, Nina, Wylan. So good. And Jesper, I forgot Jesper. Jesper is awesome too. Oh my god, so bad. But yeah, this book, it's action-packed, it's thrilling, intense. There's so much going on, but it didn't feel long enough. And I'm really glad this book is getting a sequel coming out on my birthday this year. So like, happy birthday to me, Leigh Bardugo. But so good, and I want this to be a trilogy. I want this to be a 5-book series. I want this series to never end. Love it so much, but I'm glad that Bardugo, you know, she knows not to drag it out. Like, you know, some authors, they don't know that. But this book was so good. Definitely 5 stars. 5.5 stars. Read it now! Now this next book is probably the cutest book I've ever read. Anna and the French Kiss. I didn't go into this book thinking I was gonna like it as much as I did. I mean, it was just so good. It really good. So this girl, Anna, she is sent to the American school in Paris. And so she goes to Paris. She doesn't want to go at first, which is probably the most unrealistic thing about this book. She doesn't want to go to France. But anyway, she goes, and she goes to this boarding school, and she meets these wonderful friends and this boy, Etienne St. Clair. Now, let me tell you about Etienne. Just, honestly, I can't, because he's perfect. He's perfect. He is French, American, and British, all at the same time. That's right. He can speak fluent French. He's originally from Britain, so he has a British accent. And he was born in America, I believe, and so he's literally the perfect trifecta, and he has curly hair and is gorgeous, gorgeous eyes. I've got a great mental picture. Thank you, Stephanie Perkins. But also, just something I've almost never seen in a romance before. The guy is shorter than the girl. Why don't we see, this is real life, people. Not every guy is towering 6 feet, and not every girl is friggin' 4'2". Some are, but not every one. So it's unrealistic when I see that all the time, but this book was honestly amazing. So good. And it deserves 5 stars. So go read it. Now, I've already talked about these books enough on my channel, but I'm gonna do it one last time because the next book I read was Morningstar. I can't say enough about this book, about this series. It is amazing. This finale was perfect, evoked all the feels. It was epic, action-packed, literally everything you could want in a book ever. So go read it. Go read it. Do yourself a favor, go read it. And then we come to a book that is only slightly better than Slammed. Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe. Now, I went into this book thinking I was going to love it. We have 2 main characters that are both Latino, and they're gay. It's a love story. Why did I not love this book? Okay, first of all, the writing was so bad. It was so juvenile. It was, people don't talk like that. People don't talk like that. Just one example of bad dialogue. Let's just go. Don't like Cokes, I said. That's weird. Why? Everybody likes Cokes. I don't. What do you like? Coffee and tea. That's weird. Okay, I'm weird. Shut up. I'm a teenager. I'm gay. Do I talk like that? No. And honestly, this book was so boring. Nothing happened until the last page. I mean, stuff happens, but nothing really happens. I mean, the main character got injured. Just keep it vague at one point in the book, and I didn't care at all. Not one bit. It was like, oh, something bad happened. I'm just, okay. So 2 stars. This is like a solid 2 stars, maybe a 2.5, because I did enjoy some parts of it, but I like the parents. I actually really like that about this book. The parents were so present. Like in any teenager's life, their parent is going to be a major, they can't do everything. Not like some of these books where they go out and smoke and have parties. Like, what are their parents doing? Well, this book, their parents are involved in their lives, and I really enjoyed that about this book, more so than the actual characters it was about. But it's worth a read, just to say that you read a super diverse book with Latino characters and they were gay and stuff. And I really wanted to love it, but sadly, I just didn't. It was okay. It was meh. It was meh. 2 stars. Then I did a buddy read with my wonderful friends on the book Truth Witch. Now, this is a book that got a lot of buzz in January, and it was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. It kind of invoked the whole Avatar: The Last Airbender vibe, with all the different, they weren't bending, there were witches. So there was fire witches and earth witches, steel witches, iron witches. There were so many witches in this book, like blood witches, thread witches, truth witches. There were so many. A chart would have helped. Susan Dennard, please make a chart in the next one. But the plot, fast-paced, kept moving. There were so many intriguing aspects of this book. I really enjoyed the politics, and the world building, it wasn't really there all the time, but I really still got a sense, kind of the world, and what I enjoyed most was the characters, especially Safi, Isolde, and Merrick. They were fantastic, and Adrian was also pretty cool. And so I think, just some of the scenes were so cinematic. They played out in my head beautifully. It was a great book. I would recommend it 100%. Give this 4 stars out of 5. Now, this next book has wormed its way into my favorite shelf and into my heart forever and always. I love this book so much. We Are the Ants. Holy crap, guys. This book made me feel so much that I really didn't expect to feel going into this book. This book is about Henry, and Henry has been abducted by aliens for years. And then finally, this one point, they give him a choice. They tell him that the world is going to be destroyed on January 29th, 2016, and he has 144 days to stop it. And how he's going to stop it is there's a button that they give him the choice to press, and if he presses the button, he saves the world. Now, most people would immediately say yes and press the button, but Henry has a really hard life. It sucks for him. His boyfriend killed himself last year. His mom chain smoked cigarettes to try to cope with his dad leaving years ago, his brother dropping out of college with a pregnant girlfriend, and her mom, Henry's grandma, slowly losing her mind to Alzheimer's. It was such a beautiful, touching book with so much imagery that you could just see, and just the descriptions of life and the universe and just the way that Henry saw the world were so unique and amazing. And I read this book in 2 sittings. It was amazing, astounding. Go read it right now. It's definitely a book that deserves to be read. It's an important book, for sure. There's so many themes that this book touches on, including suicide, rape, abuse, bullying, mental illness, And it does it in a way that never feels cheap. This book felt very real. The way the characters interacted with each other and with the world around them felt insanely, just heartbreakingly real. This book is honest in the best way possible, and I cannot thank the author enough for just creating this beautiful, beautiful story. And 5 stars all the way. You should go read this book. Okay guys, so that was my winter read wrap up, and I'll be posting videos more regularly with reviews of all the books that I'm reading. I just kind of wanted to do a general wrap up because I just started my channel, to just, you know, let you guys know what I've been reading. And I'm sorry, but I can't do TBRs because I deviate from them so much. So I'm just going to be doing wrap-ups at the end of the month with book talks along the way, and maybe some tag videos in there. Who knows? We'll find out. Anyways, thanks for watching, and leave a comment below if you like what you see, and if you don't, keep that opinion to yourself, please. But let me know what you're reading at the moment, and what you think I should read next, and I'll take that into consideration. So until next time, see ya.